What's burning? What's burning? What's burning with KB?
It's time for What's Burnin' with Kevin KB Burns, presented by Bill Lacasse and SRG Financial Advisors. But first, please join us as we honor our great nation with the playing of our national anthem. And now your host, Kevin KB Burns.
Hey, welcome into What's Burning right here on Lake TV. Another amazing show. Man, we've been doing so many cool things, and I hope that you've been tuning in, coming along for the ride where we do a new show every Thursday. And then, of course, 7 days a week, 7 a.m., 5 p.m., 11 p.m. We're having fun with it. And let me again tell you, if you've got any ideas for the show, KB at My Lake TV is a great way to go. Professor Jim Paisley getting us started today. We're going to talk a little bit about the role of government. We'll also head out to the Missouri Trap Shooters Association Gun Club and talk with the manager out there, Skip Klinger. Did you know the MTA Gun Club is the second largest gun club in the world? That's right. We're on the trail with our good friend Bill Mulder, headed out to Climax Springs, where we got a chance to hang out, see the city park, and we met a very unique individual. She is probably the most beloved person in Climax Spring. Her name is Stephanie. She spent a little time talking with us. I don't know that we've got that part of the shoot for you today, but she's a very interesting lady, and we're happy to have the time to spend with her. Also, wrapping up the show today, of course, out to Ozarks Cat and Canine, KB's furry friends, and today we'll find out a lot about this lovely little kitten they call Dolly Purton, and you'll find out why she was given that particular name. A big thanks to all of our sponsors, great folks like our title sponsor, SRG Financial Advisors, Budget Blinds, Ozark Barge and Dock, our veterinary at the lake, and the official bottled water of What's Burning, Culligan Lake of the Ozarks. Stick around, folks. Lots coming up. Don't touch that dial.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
You want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock, now celebrating 33 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 33 years.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
It was a Saturday. Chris was a good dad. His water practices, not so much. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Culligan. Got a water pitcher for the fam. Pretty safe, huh?
Well, basic water pitchers are passable, whereas a Culligan reverse osmosis system can reduce lead, arsenic, pesticide runoff.
You realize these have filters?
Chris, pour it out.
It's not going fast enough. Just done with that.
When your water's right, so is your world. I wrote that!
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532. Right back here on What's Burning on Lake TV. It's great to have you with us, and it's great to have our guest, Professor Jim Paisley. It normally means we're going to learn something. And might I start out by saying that if you want to find out more about this guy and what he's all about, and just track all of the great things that he has discussed and brought to our attention, go to truehistoryprofessor.com. Jim, how in the world are you?
Hi, buddy. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Glad to have you with us. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the role of government here.
Yeah. You know, gosh, you know, it seems like every night we turn on the TV and there's something else, you know, that the government's, you know, what was it Reagan said, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. Well, you know, that's the problem we have right now is the government seems to be involved in just about everything with our daily lives. And, you know, I got to thinking about it and I thought, how in the world did we get to this point? You know, being a history professor, you know, I know what happened when our founding fathers came together. And they've got to be spinning in their graves looking at where we're at today. And so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of go back and look at why governments even exist. How did it ever start? Well, when I did it, I realized we've got to go even way beyond the history of the United States and go all the way back to the ancient Greeks and the Romans. And in essence, what happened is that governments came together simply for protection. I mean, bottom line is people realized that by yourself, you know, you don't stand much of a chance when the Huns come over the hill or, you know, when the neighboring kingdom decides they're going to invade and, you know, pillage their way through. And so people came together in groups for protection. That's the number one reason why we formed governments, all right? Now, the problem is that when they did that, they formed the governments and there was this issue of, all right, we need to give the government some power, but at the same time, we don't want them to become so powerful that they're regulating everything we do in our daily lives, kind of like today. And so what they did is they tried to strike a balance, if you will, between having a government that was there to protect you and at the same time having a government that was there serving you without having so much power that they could dictate what you did on a daily basis. And there's where we've kind of jumped the tracks. Now, I thought it was kind of interesting because, you know, part of government's function being to protect citizens, originally what you saw is they built castles and they had walls around the castles, you know, to keep people from coming and invading, and everybody lived within those walls. And they elected somebody, you know, or they had a king, the strongest guy in the neighborhood. He became the king of the little, you know, kingdom. And, you know, from there it just expanded to the point where we eventually wound up with nation states. In other places, like in China, they built the Great Wall that basically walled off their whole territory there to keep from being invaded by somebody else. Now, other groups, they turned around and decided, well, we'll just move everybody up on the top of this mountain. We'll make it hard for them to get to us, or on the far end of some desert somewhere, or we'll put our village on the other side of the river. So, you know, there was a method to their madness. But again, the central theme was they came together to protect themselves. Some eventually built armies. Our forefathers, they all lived under something called the Assize of Arms, which was a requirement that everybody in the community had to learn how to yield a weapon, be it a sword or eventually a gun or whatever. And it was your responsibility as a citizen to show up at any moment with the necessary arms to protect the village. And that's really where we got our Second Amendment right. You know, that was in English law. Now, what was interesting is that somewhere things jumped off the tracks. Things were going fairly well. But as we got into like the 20th century, all of a sudden governments decided that they needed to do more. And the reason why is because as far as economies went, the French were notorious for an economic system called laissez-faire economics, where basically it was live and let live, let nature take its course. Government shouldn't be involved in the economy. And what they did is they let it kind of run, and everybody kind of adopted that methodology. But as we know, when we got into the early 20th century, all of a sudden these systems collapsed, the economic systems. We had our Great Depression. And so people, in their infinite wisdom, turned to the government. Help, we've got problems, right? And so they looked to the government to fix the economies. And in my opinion, that's where everything jumped off the tracks.
Kind of reminds me of, being in radio or television, and, you're supposed to know everything that's going on, let's say, for example, with the weather. And people come up to you, and they expect you to know the weather forecast, and if you can't give it to them, I thought you were somebody who could help me.
That's right.
And maybe that's the same philosophy a lot of people took on when it came to government.
It was. They thought, well, they've done a good job, protecting us from foreign invaders and everything else.
They should know everything.
Well, absolutely, and we put them in there. We're paying them. They ought to be doing something, so bingo, there it was. Well, what happened was in the 1930s, trying, recuperate from this Great Depression, the federal government, Congress, gets together and forms the Federal Reserve System, which basically was a control on the money in and money out. And then on top of that, people needed jobs, so Franklin Roosevelt came out with his New Deal, and all of his, he had a bunch of people, they called them the Brain Trust, that came up with all these different programs, WPA, CCC.
That's debatable, right?
Yes, exactly. We're from the government, we're to help. Mm-hmm. Now, what was interesting is that this whole idea of the government having the responsibility to help us all expanded into social programs as well. All right, and there's where things really got sticky, because they started all the welfare programs and everything else that goes along with it. All of it costs money. And again, we went from having the government protect us to the government providing for us. Now, what was interesting about that is, we had things that provided food, payments for your housing, jobs, the whole 9 yards. And during the 1960s, President Lyndon Johnson took it the next step and created what he called his Great Society. Now, the Great Society was that he wanted to eliminate poverty. Now, you have to ask yourself the question, how did we go from living in a kingdom, protecting ourselves from the kingdoms on either side of us, to solving world hunger? Mm-hmm. And therein lies the problem, because in doing so now we have to have programs, and we have to have government agencies, and bureaucracy grew to an all new level. Now, I thought it was kind of interesting to go back and look at what our forefathers looked at. Now, our forefathers, in their wisdom, said, we're not going to just recreate the wheel. We'll go back and look at our history. Now, they went all the way back to things like the Magna Carta in the 1200s, in which basically said, hey, you're the king, but you have a limit on your power too. Mm-hmm. That you work for us basically, and we work together, but you're not all powerful. Well, that whole concept started to blossom, if you will. And in the 1600s, what we saw happen is different people came to the forefront, people like Thomas Hobbes, and said, bottom line is governments need to take into consideration the rights of the people, not just what the government wants. Well, this was pretty radical thinking. Well, all of those teachings from people like that wound up in the hands of our forefathers. And I'll give you a couple of quotes here to make the point. None other than Thomas Jefferson. He, wrote a book, and it was called the Summary of the View of the Rights of British America. Now, bear in mind, he wrote it in 1774, so he was British at the time. And he said, history has informed us that bodies of men as well as individuals are susceptible to the spirit of tyranny. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so he's sitting there saying right then, you have to be careful because you could wind up creating a tyrant, mm-hmm. All right? Patrick Henry summed up the importance of history this way. He said, I have but one lamp by which my feet are guided, and that is the lamp of experience. I know of no way of judging the future but by the past. History, the lamp of experience, is indispensable to understanding and defending the liberty of the individual under constitutionally limited representative government. So he's saying, if we're going to turn around and put a government together, let's look at the history. What worked and what didn't. Okay? So these guys were brilliant. I mean, it's not like they turned around and just invented, all this concept of freedom and liberty. What they did is they took the best things all the way back to the ancient Greeks and the Romans and said, this worked, oh, that didn't, this did. And they kind of put it all together, and bingo, that's how we wound up with what we have today.
I think a large part of it has to do with the fact that we've been exposed to this type of government for generations now, so maybe people are just used to it, and that's the hard part. That's a shame. People ought to take the time to go back and read a little bit more on the history, and certainly what the founding fathers had to say. Jim Paisley, Professor Jim Paisley, the website is truehistoryprofessor.com. Always a pleasure, sir. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me today. Appreciate
Absolutely, absolutely. Stick around, folks. We've got much more coming up on another action-packed episode of What's Burning here on Lake TV.
Enjoying What's Burning with KB right here on Lake TV? Have questions, comments, or suggestions? Have an interesting story for KB to tell? Or maybe you want to be interviewed by KB on the show or are interested in sponsoring? All you have to do is reach out to KB at kb@mylaketv.com.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
You want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock, now celebrating 33 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 33 years.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offers routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. With multiple convenient locations, our veterinary is the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
Join Lake TV for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris, the Lake area's only local TV talk show focused on the Lake area. Local stories, local sports, and local events. Have a cup of coffee with Will and Chris weekdays at 8, 1, and 8 on Lake TV.
KB right here on What's Burning on Lake TV. And where do we find ourselves on a beautiful day at the Lake of the Ozarks? None other than the Missouri Trap Shooters Association Gun Club on A Road. I guess this is technically Lynn Creek still, But what a great place, what a great facility. And we've got some time today to talk to Skip Klinger. He is the manager here. How you doing, sir? Good to see you.
Very good. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Great to be here. You and I have talked about this before on the radio, but I think it really kind of drives the point home when we're out here on a beautiful day like today, watching all these folks that come from all over the place to come out and enjoy some trap shooting. Let's talk a little bit about your role in all of this. You've been the manager here now for how long?
Just about a year. A year on next weekend, really. Yes.
And what brought you to mid-Missouri?
Well, I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and there was a couple of members of the board here that twisted my arm until I said yes.
And sometimes it's easy to do, especially when you've got a great venue here like the Lake of the Ozarks. And tell us, there's pretty interesting statistics regarding the MTA Gun Club as far as its overall size in comparison to other gun clubs in the country.
We have 60 trap fields, which is exactly 1 mile from number 1 to number 60, and we're the second largest trap shooting facility in the world. We started sporting clays last July. I added 4 more stations here a week ago. And we're in the process today is our first charity event that we've ever held on Sporting Clays, of course. And Crossover is our guinea pig today.
Yeah, Crossover Christian Music Festival, which will be happening later on in the year. And like everything else, they need to do some fundraising to make some money. And what a great spot to do this. And I don't know how many people are out here now supporting that particular event, but this is one of many that you hope to have in the future.
Yes, we have 3 more and some corporate events booked throughout the summer. And anybody that's interested in a corporate event where you come and bring your clients or you bring your employees and you have team building or client relationship building, it works wonderful. And also with charity, we can help you help your charity raise money, which is we call it shotgun with a golf.
Yeah,
golf with a shotgun. Excuse
golf
me.
with a shotgun, but very impressive as well. And I guess the boss can see who's the best shot in the company and maybe treat them a little bit nicer.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
Let's talk about the gun club in the sense that this is a big facility. You mentioned second overall in the world, but this one stretches out pretty far.
Yes, it does. There's 780 acres here, and the trap line's a mile long, and then you get down to Sporting Clays, and eventually that Sporting Clays will encompass a big circle, which will have 3 to 5 Sporting Clays courses within the complex.
It's amazing to see what's been done here and what's going to be done, and that's kind of your hope, is to grow this facility, and I would imagine at some point maybe make it number 1.
Oh, well, we're that is a very good objective, yes, and we hope to put skeet in at the other end, and then we can have the juniors can have all their state championships right here. Right now, we have the SCTP Trap Championships and Sporting Clays Championships here in June, and hopefully sometime in the future we'll be able to have skeet also.
You were mentioning to me earlier about one of the charity events that you're going to be doing, which is huge at the Lake of the Ozarks, and that's the shootout. And you've got some impressive guns lined up for folks who maybe want to come out here and compete, and or even bid on a firearm or two. Tell us about that.
Yes, we are going to be doing what we're calling Shootout at the Shootout on July the 10th. It is a Sporting Clays event, which is a charity event for the shootout, the boat shootout, the boat races. And in conjunction with that, we're going to have 2 Kohler shotguns for a gun ticket, which will raise additional funds for the shootout. And then we're also going to have a special Kohler with the laser engraved logos on the side it's going to be on their live auction on Saturday night.
And anybody who knows anything about the firearms that are used, especially which you can see out here today, they aren't cheap.
No, the Kohler shotguns are Racine, Wisconsin, and those are $15,000 guns.
And that's just scratching the surface, because overall, let's say you want to get involved in the sport. What are you talking maybe cost-wise?
Well, you can buy an over and under today anywhere from $400 to infinity, but a really good gun, if you're going to shoot trap or sporting clays or both, is probably in the $1,500 range today.
Yeah. Do any of the local high schools use this facility?
Yes. Camdenton comes and shoots two or three times a week. They have about 40 kids on their trap team. Yeah. And then we have a group from Iberia. Eugene comes down every Tuesday night. Right. Lake Christian School here over in Laurie comes on a Tuesday night. And then there's also a couple other, there's a program from Lebanon, Missouri that comes up and shoots, Wyota.
It's got to make you feel good that kids are involved in this sport, and they're still really pushing trap shooting as something to get involved in as a young kid. You know, we could talk Second Amendment and firearms and all that, but the best thing about it, I guess, is you're getting into the actual education aspect, not only just coming out here and competing, but the education of learning how to properly use a firearm, clean it, things like that. That's
that is correct. That is correct. And one of our cornerstones is Mr. Finnip. We call him. They call him Uncle Bill. Actually started this association back in the early '60s. And we still have the Finnip Foundation today. He was in the can business in St. Louis and developed some kind of can process that made him famous in the can company. But he was a trap shooter. And he wanted to make sure that every youth in Missouri had the opportunity to shoot trap if they wanted to. So today, we still partner with the Finnip Foundation. It's being run by his grandson today. And so if we get somebody from Missouri, a youth under 18, that will come, that wants to come and shoot, we give them 2 boxes of shells and 50 targets for $16. Now that is the best bargain in Missouri as far as I'm concerned.
I think it's the best bargain, period. You know, anywhere where you can find something like this. And again, getting kids involved, teaching them about firearms. There's more to just pulling the trigger. There's a lot more to it, and the education process is very important as well.
That is correct, yes.
How many events do you have out here on a yearly basis?
Well, there's 3 big events. The state shoot is in May, and then we have a summer shoot, which this year is also our southwestern zone shoot. And then in the fall, we have a fall handicap. Now, during other parts of the year like this right now, we have semi-smaller shoots, zone shoot. And we have a lot of youth programs this year, though. Like next Sunday is the 30th. We have the Paul Larson High School shoot. It is the high school shoot across all of Missouri, the whole state. We will have almost, or somewhere around 1,000 kids, youth, come here and shoot next Sunday, and that will include, then we'll have parents and grandparents on top of that. So, you know, this place will be very busy. And then we have SCTP coming in June, and we have the AIM program for the kids, and we have the 4-H and the FFA, and, you know, just all other kinds of stuff. And then we have other small registered shoots, ATA shoots that we have throughout the year, our normal shoots. But the trap line is busy. We're open every day from Wednesday through Sunday, and anybody can come and shoot anytime, or Sporting Clays. Sporting Clays is open at the same time, so come on out and join us.
Well, and another little hidden gem out here at the MTA Gun Club is you got a nice little place to grab a bite when you're here.
We do. They're calling this the Gun Club Grill, and if you go on their Facebook page, Gun Club Grill, she actually has pictures and that of the different sandwiches and things that she have. But she has hamburgers, hot dogs, french fries, onion rings. She'll make you breakfast. It could be pancakes, could be eggs and bacon, could be sausage. So if you're hungry, all you got to do is come and eat.
And that's available to anyone?
Yep, anyone. And anybody that wants to stop and visit with us and watch anybody shoot or have a cup of coffee, talk to us, have something to eat, come on out.
How did you get involved in all of this?
Well, I've been shooting since I've been 5. And I ran a fairly large gun club in Pennsylvania called Palmyra Sportsman, right next to Hershey. I was the president and CEO for 32 years. And then I also was involved in the state Shotgun Association, which ran all the registered shoots in Pennsylvania. And I actually was their executive director for a while. Some situations happened there, and Missouri came calling because I knew Steve Ricketts really well, and he's the lead reclaimer, and they twisted my arm until I came out here.
How do you like living at the Lake of the Ozarks?
I'm telling you what, I pinch myself every day to see if I'm still here, because this is a great place. Right. It really is. Great people, great facility. The lake is just, I cross that lake every day and just smile.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get a little fishing in, do you?
Well, not so far.
No.
Hopefully one day.
Well,
I don't get to shoot much either because I'm working all the time.
Right. Well, listen, we appreciate you having us out here today. Great facility, folks. You got to come check it out. Easy to find off Highway 54, A Road in Lynn Creek. It's the Missouri Trap Shooters Association Gun Club, and this is manager Skip Klinger. Skip, thank you, sir.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming. Look forward to seeing everyone.
Absolutely. Folks, stick around. We've got more coming up. All kinds of great things coming up. We're all over the place. It's What's Burning on Lake TV.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
You want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock, now celebrating 33 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 33 years.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offers routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. With multiple convenient locations, our veterinary is the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the Quick Car Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The Quick Car Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. Quick Car. Quick, easy, and professional every time. Now open in Camdenton with new locations in Jefferson City coming soon.
Hey, welcome back to What's Burning right here on Lake TV. KB and our good friend, Mr. Bill Mulder.
KB, how are you today?
I'm doing well, sir. And we are on the trail in Climax Springs, Missouri. And I believe population 124. We've got our guard dog, Lightning the Wonder Dog, here with us. And so we thought we'd make a trip out here, talk a little bit about Climax Springs. And where are we now, Bill?
We're at Climax Springs.
Well, I mean, okay.
We are at the actual spring. Off to your right shoulder, you can see the original just up the hillside a little bit there, right where those rocks are. They did a little diversion back when they were starting to put this together. And in the Climax Springs come about in 1886, prior to that, it was just called Climax.
Okay.
That started in 1883 when they incorporated the town. And it was in the phase of mineral springs. That's when everybody was excited, and that's when you had towns like El Dorado Springs, Excelsior Springs. Everything was a spring, and it had these curative, healthy waters. Now, were they curative and healthy? I don't know. But these are mineral springs. They have a lot of minerals in them. They can be very flavorful, shall we say. In other words, it's got quite the taste to it.
Yeah, something you'll remember if you reach down and get a little bit of water.
It will make you want to get Culligan water set up right here.
Oh, hey, nice plug there. Culligan water, Culligan Lake of the Ozarks, the official bottled water of What's Burning. And yeah, when we're out on the trail, we like to stay hydrated. And that's probably not the way to do it.
Well, you know what? It can be. It's still good water.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of flavor out of that. But these mineral springs pick up a lot of deep earth stuff out of the rocks. They'll pick up lead. Yeah, is there lead here? There is lead in this area. Copper, all kinds of different things. And that's the flavor when people talk about the flavor of the water, the hard water.
Sure.
It's the minerals in it. So the folks that were in this area said, you know what, we can have a spring here, and we're going to make this a destination. And they did. And the way it got the name, one of the very enthusiastic people that were the early pioneers said, well, that caps the climax when they figured out this was mineral water.
Right.
And back in those days, the labs that were the science labs that tested the water would tell you, yeah, it's got a lot of this in it and that in it, and it's good. So you should really go down there and bathe in it. They even had baths here where you could bathe in this mineral water, and that's what they were doing. So it was really a unique business proposition, and it went on for a few years. And then, like the whole mineral water thing, it just kind of died out over lack of interest and lack of understanding. Well, and one of the things that they decided to do to make money is they wanted to draw people here, and they had some, as you can see this thing we're sitting on, they built some more of these type of structures on downstream here a little bit where you could bathe in the water.
Oh, very
and
nice.
It was somehow supposed to get rid of arthritis, make you more healthy, etc., etc., etc.
Kind of like the medicinal purposes, your and/or snake oil salesman kind of situation.
Yes.
They didn't know for sure. They knew that it had the components in it, but nobody absolutely knew for sure that bathing in this water would make
Well, they
you
were
healthy.
sold on it. Even the so-called scientists believed that being in this water, these mineral-rich waters, would absolutely cure all kinds of diseases. And we're talking everything from joint inflammation to cancer. They thought it would somehow take care of that. So it became a very big deal. And you will see here a little bit later, just beside the spring, you're going to see a building up through the trees there. That was a 2-story hotel that people would travel here to bathe in the spring, to drink the spring water, and whatever else. And being in this area probably had some other things that went in this spring water that might have been brewed back off here in the hills in a copper kettle with a big old copper coil of copper tubing.
Now that would have really helped make things go away.
That will take care of arthritis right now.
Well, I mean, like everything else, you know, you want to bring people in, your town needs a gimmick, and the gimmick was definitely the spring.
And in the late 1800s, Missouri was well blessed with those things. And you can still see the results of that today in some of the town names, like El Dorado Springs, Eureka Springs, etc., Excelsior Springs. And if you go down to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, you will still find that there is kind of a culture in the business there surrounding it. And you can go into certain hotels and take baths there in Eureka Springs that are allegedly curative. So yeah, it was something that it lasted for a number of years, and as people started going, wait a minute, I still have my arthritis, I still have my bursitis, and it's still hard for me to get around. Maybe it wasn't so much the water worked that well.
Or maybe it was like a temporary fix, and so they'd have to turn around and come back and do it all over again.
All over again, and there was even doctors that would subscribe to this, regular physicians, go soak in the waters, go drink the waters, and you're going to be fine the next day.
And do you think those particular doctors were maybe on the take here in town?
Well, I would say that they bought into things rather easily.
Right.
And, you know, when we're talking late 1800s, yeah, I could see how maybe they go, well, why not? I grew up drinking water, and I feel spring water, I feel pretty healthy, so it's got to be good for you. And, you know, back in those days, we didn't have the groundwater pollution that you have today, so people did drink out of the springs. And that was a very common thing. You didn't have, a lot of times, a hand-drilled well. You dipped water out of the spring on your property. You built your house near the spring on your property. My grandparents had a place here in the area, over a little bit east of here on J Road. There was 2 springs there. One was for the cattle, one was for the people. And every bit of their water come out of that spring. Now, just to let you in on a little secret, if you have a drilled well here in the Missouri Ozarks, it's the same water as this is. It's the same water coming up out of the ground, out of the fissures in the ground. It's just maybe you have it filtered, maybe you don't.
I was going to say, I would imagine at this point in time, a lot of people have that water filtered, and you can, you can be at ease getting a drink or bathing and not have to worry about a whole lot.
You know, people talk about hard water that they have in their wells and that they still don't have a water cleansing system. This is what they're talking about. The only difference, this has come up to the surface, so it can grab a few more microorganisms as it gets up here, and it can travel into you and then down through your gut, and maybe you're okay and maybe you're not.
Probably some tough people out there that have consumed well water over the years.
Up until recently, we did. Yeah. So, I mean, it's what you're used to. And now we have we actually got a Culligan water system in our house just a few months ago, and I can tell a world of difference. I've really noticed a difference and the thing that I catch on to is I'm drinking it. If I go back to a place that doesn't have filtered water, there's a certain flavor to it. Then there's kind of like a little coating that you get in your mouth from it. Is it bad for you? No, not really. You're fine. Is it going to hurt you? No. Now, if you come to an open spring like this and you take water that's laid out here for even a few seconds, because of the heat of the sun, organisms can grow. Yeah, this could cause you some gastric issues, so to say.
Well, I think what's interesting about it is these folks found the spring. They were able to utilize the spring for a period of time. But now when you drive through Climax Springs, there's just really not much here anymore. This is actually what we call the city park, and you can kind of tell. And then up the hill, I guess they've got a pavilion up there.
There's a pavilion up there.
But you're going to have a little trouble getting up that road. However, it still exists. They still have the school here, a nice-looking school.
It is a great school. They've got a very fine school here. The old town of Climax Springs, as you pass through Climax Springs today, you think of it as being that little line of businesses up on 7 Highway. Well, that was added much later. This was the original town down here, and it's all but gone. The buildings are not usable anymore, the business buildings. Pretty much all that's left down here is the school.
Well, folks, we invite you to come by and take a look at Climax Springs. If you're in the lake area, obviously, you head north on Highway 5, grab 7 there at Greenview, follow it on down. Easy to find, and you'll know you're here when you come on by the city park and take a look at the spring. It's been a pleasure again being on the trail with our good friend Mr. Bill Mulder, and we invite you to stick around. We've got more coming up right here on What's Burning on Lake TV.
Enjoying What's Burning with KB right here on Lake TV? Have questions, comments, or suggestions? Have an interesting story for KB to tell? Or maybe you want to be interviewed by KB on the show or are interested in sponsoring? All you have to do is reach out to KB at kb@mylaketv.com.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock, now celebrating 33 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 33 years.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offers routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. With multiple convenient locations, our veterinary is the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Hey Jess. Yeah, Nicole, what do you need? Did you see that new listing in Sunrise Beach?
Yeah, it was just listed 2 minutes ago.
It has 150 feet of lakefront. And a brand new kitchen. I'm headed out there after I type this email. I'm on the phone with my clients. Hey, where are you going?
I already put an offer in, cash above list, and it's looking good.
Are you kidding me?
Back here on What's Burning on Lake TV with KB's Furry Friends, presented by our veterinary at the lake. Gosh, I don't even know what to say. We've been standing here talking to this beautiful young lady. Dolly Purton is her name. And with me, as always, Mary Meow Me Tilly. And I don't know what to say because, you know, this, we were just talking about this. This is, I could basically do this all day. Stand here.
Yep.
This little girl is such a doll, but man, does she have kind of a heart-wrenching story.
Yeah.
As we have fur going everywhere. That's from petting her so much.
Yep, she could probably use a brushing.
Yeah.
So Dolly came into us as a stray, and when she came in, the reason why she got her name is because she came in full of milk. And we immediately took her to the vet, and they examined her and didn't think that she had babies. And so we just proceeded as we normally would. We were watching. We assumed that she'd probably had the babies before she came in, and that, you know, they were either had not made it or they were out there somewhere. But then about a week or so after she came into us, we came in one morning and she was actively miscarrying premature kittens. And just tiny little hairless pink things that you know, were way too young to survive. And so, you know, she shouldn't have had to go through that. That was traumatic for her and for us as well.
Sure.
You know, it was the first time we'd had that happen here. And so, you know, that's why it's so important to spay and neuter your pets.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, even if she wasn't an owned animal, at some point she had a mama that should have been spayed and, and you know, wouldn't have had to go through that.
You know, one of the saddest things, I think, when it comes to stray animals is seeing them by the side of the road after they've been hit by a vehicle or something like that, or they're running loose. And you drive by them and you're like, boy, I'd like to stop and help them out, but, you know, you just don't have the time, or it's not a good place to do that. And then you, in the back of my mind, I always wonder, well, then what in the world's happened to them?
Yeah, sometimes it's just not a safe place to, there's nowhere to pull over, there's nowhere that you can, you know, keep yourself safe while you're trying to help them. But
so how old do we think Dolly is?
so we have her aged at 4 years old based on her teeth. That's with adult animals when they come in, that's usually our primary way of aging them. But she is so playful and so active that we kind of have to wonder if possibly she is younger than that and has just had a rough life, you know, malnourished prior to coming in, and that has aged her teeth faster than normal.
She sure is beautiful, soft as all get out, lovable as all get out, and she would love to be
a sweetheart.
Love to be in your family. We don't know if is she good with other cats? Does she seem to get along well?
We have not had her with other cats
Yeah.
yet, so I can't answer to that. But yeah, probably within the next few days or so, we'll probably try her in.
Right.
We try not to put too many new ones in the big cat room all
Right,
at once. When we just put a new one in there, so her turn will be coming next.
Tinsel's back there too. He's trying to get in, or she's trying to get in the shot. I'm sorry. Tinsel's another cat that we might have a chance to talk about later on. But of course, you can come down and go through all the adoption procedure and have this lovely young lady in your home very, very soon. And I would imagine by now, is she spayed? She's
Yes.
neutered?
Oh yeah.
Spayed.
She's spayed.
Yeah, not
Up
neutered.
to date on shots and ready to leave.
Well, Dolly Burton, we would love to find you a good home. Isn't she? She's just so pretty as she is.
And she has a heart on her side.
She has a heart, and then she's got one that looks kind of like Mickey Mouse on the top here.
And the other
She's
side
got
is
some
polka dots.
There you go. And you can see how beautiful she is there. See her for all she's worth. And come on down here to Ozarks Cat and Canine and see if maybe Dolly Burton wouldn't be the perfect fit for your home. Just real quick, you guys recently had a puppy adoption in Camdenton. How did that go?
It went great. We took 6 puppies with us that day, and 3 of them got adopted from the event. So.
And you've got another one coming up?
We have another event coming up on May 14th at Taboo in Laurie. They are having a children's car show that day, and we are going to be there with our booth and probably puppies again. It's going to depend on who we've got available and when it gets a little closer to time.
Yeah, we talked about that too. They don't do cats and dogs at the same time. They'll either do puppies, they'll do kittens, they'll do cats, they'll do dogs.
Yeah.
And
I know we won't have any kittens available. We've got some. We actually have newborn kittens in our quarantine. We have a kitty that just gave birth this past week.
Oh wow!
So they'll be a week old tomorrow, and then we've got some that are going to be coming in another week or so.
Very good.
But they aren't going to be ready by the time that event rolls around.
All right. Well, this is Dolly Burton. You know where to find her. Ozarks Cat and Canine. Let's find her a home, folks. She's just beautiful. And she's as sweet as can be, and she'd love to be a part of your family. KB's Furry Friends here on What's Burnin', presented by our veterinary at the lake on Lake TV.
Enjoying What's Burning with KB right here on Lake TV? Have questions, comments, or suggestions? Have an interesting story for KB to tell? Or maybe you want to be interviewed by KB on the show or are interested in sponsoring? All you have to do is reach out to KB at kb@mylaketv.com.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offers routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. With multiple convenient locations, our veterinary is the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
Moving to the lake is a lot of work, but not with Sunrise Movers, where we do the hard work for you. For packing up and delivery to your new home or simply loading and transferring your belongings, Sunrise Movers is the easy choice for your next move. Sunrise Movers packs your possessions extra carefully, shows up on time, and strives for 5-star customer service every time. Sunrise Movers, the official movers of Lake TV. Give us a call today to get a free estimate. Sunrise Movers, where we do the hard work for you.
As always, I want to thank all my guests for taking some time to come in and be a part of the show. Jim Paisley, Skip Klinger, of course, our good friend Bill Mulder, and the wonderful folks that work out there at Ozarks Cat and K9 doing a great job. And we'll have another edition of Furry Friends coming up for you next week. Also, we're going to head to the kitchen. That's right, KB in the kitchen out at Captain Ron's. Looking forward to getting back in the kitchen and working with chefs from around the lake area, coming up with all kinds of great dishes, signature dishes, I'm sure, which I know one that is a personal favorite of mine over at Captain Ron's, and I bet we might be working on that one the next time you check us out. Luke Bucher from NHC, the Osage Beach Rehab. We'll have him on as well to talk more about what they're doing over there. And of course, as always, we would like to have you back. So make some time for us if you wouldn't mind. Each and every day, 7 a.m., 11 p.m., and 5 p.m. with new shows for you every Thursday. Out in the field looking for things to do, fun stuff to bring to the table. And again, if you've got an idea for a show, it's always great to contact me here directly, KB at My Lake TV, KB at MyLakeTV.com. Also want to get in a plug for the brand new radio station, Community Radio in town. It is Key Radio, heard at 89.3 on the FM dial. You can also check us out online, keyradio.live. We have apps for your Android. We have apps for your iPhone. All free, as a matter of fact. So all you have to do is go to the Google Store or the App Store, plug them in by going to, I think you type in, it's Key Radio, Keyk, and you should get that app absolutely free of charge. Great community radio, lots of local topics, much like we do right here on What's Burning on Lake TV. Can't say enough about our great sponsors, our good friend, Mr. Bill DeCass, who is feeling better after some surgery at SRG Financial Advisors. We appreciate all they do for us. Budget Blinds, Carrie Mawson and everyone. Also, Ozark Barge and Dock 9 and the crew. Our veterinary at the lake. And we couldn't do it without the support of our great friends, the official bottled water of What's Burning right here on Lake TV, Culligan Lake of the Ozarks. That's who they are, 573-346-5221. We're getting into that hydrating season where you're doing more outside, if it's cutting the grass, if it's taking a walk with your dog. And by the way, hello to Lightning Wonder Dog. And thanks to the folks at Culligan Lake of the Ozarks for providing us with this great bottled water, which we need a whole lot of. In the meantime, be safe out there. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you right back here with more of What's Burning on Lake TV.